Everybody wants success. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants to be the kind of person who walks into a room with confidence, walks out with results, and lives a life they're proud of. But let me tell you the truth. You'll never conquer the world until you first conquer yourself. The greatest battle you'll ever fight is not with your boss, not with your spouse, not with the economy. The greatest battle is with that little voice inside that says, take it easy. You can quit tomorrow. But discipline, discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the muscle that takes you from average to unstoppable, from excuses to excellence. And if you'll give me just a few minutes, I'll hand you 6 powerful techniques that will help you master self-discipline and unleash a version of yourself you didn't even know was possible. You can't hit a target you can't see. Too many people wake up every morning, drag themselves through the day, and collapse at night wondering why life feels empty. The problem isn't their talent. It isn't their potential. It's that they've never decided why they're here or where they're going. Discipline without purpose feels like prison, but discipline with purpose feels like power. When you know your why, every sacrifice turns into an investment. Every no becomes a yes to something greater. Think about it. When a parent works 2 jobs, it's not because they love being tired. It's because they've got a picture in their mind of their child getting an education, living a better life. That's purpose, and that's why they keep going when others quit. So here's the truth. If your why is big enough, the how won't scare you. If your dream is clear enough, the discipline becomes automatic. Write it down, paint it in your mind, speak it out loud, because clarity of purpose is the compass that keeps you walking straight when every distraction tries to pull you off course. Success is never built in a single day. It's built in the thousands of small choices you make every single day. Every decision is a brick. One brick won't build a house, but stack enough bricks the right way, and you've built a fortress nobody can tear down. Self-discipline is not about one dramatic leap. It's about the tiny, consistent steps. Do you get out of bed when the alarm rings, or do you hit snooze? Do you choose the book that feeds your mind or the screen that drains your time? Do you spend your money building a future or wasting it on a moment? These little decisions might seem small, but they're powerful. Each choice either strengthens your will or weakens it. Each yes to discipline makes the next yes easier. Each no to temptation builds a wall that keeps you focused and strong. The truth is, winners are not people who never fail. Winners are people who choose discipline daily. They refuse to hand over their future to laziness, procrastination, or excuses. They know that when you win the little battles, you prepare yourself for the big victories. So, don't underestimate the power of one good choice today. Win the morning, and you'll win the day. Win the day, and you'll win the week. Win enough weeks, and you'll win your life. The difference between champions and quitters comes down to one word: patience. The average person trades their future for a quick thrill. They want the taste now, the comfort now, the feeling now. And you know what they end up with? Regret later. But the disciplined man, the disciplined woman, they flip the script. They say, I'll pass on the cheap thrill today so I can hold the trophy tomorrow. That's delayed gratification. That's the art of saying no to what feels good right now, so you can say yes to what feels great for the rest of your life. Think about the farmer. He plants in spring, sweats in summer, works when no one is watching, and waits. The harvest doesn't come overnight, but come autumn, he gathers more than he sowed. That's the reward of discipline. That's the payoff of patience. The same truth applies to you. Study now, and you'll reap opportunities later. Save now, and you'll enjoy freedom later. Exercise now, and you'll live with energy later. Every time you delay a shallow reward, you're buying yourself a deeper one. So hear me loud and clear. The undisciplined person spends minutes chasing pleasures that vanish, while the disciplined person invests minutes building treasures that last. Which one are you? Because here's the secret. Your future is always shouting back at your present. And if you'll just hold back, if you'll just wait, if you'll just stay faithful to the long game, your future will walk up, shake your hand, and say, thank you for not quitting on me. You can't plant roses in a swamp and expect them to bloom, and you can't surround yourself with negativity, laziness, and excuses and expect to live with discipline, energy, and success. Your environment is louder than your intentions. You might say, Koi, I want to get in shape, but if your kitchen is full of junk food, you've already lost the battle. You might declare, I'm going to think bigger, but if you spend every evening with small-minded people who complain, gossip, and criticize, they'll shrink your vision before it even takes root. That's why you've got to guard your environment like a soldier guards the gates. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not coddle you. Read books that stretch you, not numb you. Build routines that strengthen you, not sabotage you. You see, discipline is contagious. Hang around with disciplined people and their habits rub off on you. Their energy will lift you higher. But spend your time in the wrong circles and you'll be dragged down without even noticing it. So ask yourself right now, who's speaking into my life? What's feeding my mind? What's filling my time? Because if your environment doesn't match your goals, it's not a question of if you'll fail. It's only a question of when. Shape your surroundings before they shape you. Create an atmosphere where success feels natural, where discipline feels normal, and where your dreams are not laughed at but fueled. When you control your environment, you control your destiny. Discipline is powerful, but discipline multiplies when someone else is watching your back. You see, it's easy to break a promise to yourself. You can excuse it, justify it, laugh it off. But when you've looked another human being in the eye and said, I will do this, quitting suddenly gets a whole lot harder. That's the force of accountability. It's the coach who won't let you skip practice. It's the mentor who asks you the tough questions you'd rather avoid. It's the friend who reminds you of the dream you declared when you were on fire, even when your fire starts to fade. And listen carefully. Accountability isn't about weakness. It's about wisdom. Champions don't avoid accountability. They seek it out. They understand that the climb is steep, and they'd rather have a hand pulling them up than a crowd dragging them down. When you walk alone, excuses whisper louder. But when you walk with the right partner, the right team, the right tribe, excuses don't stand a chance. You'll push further, run faster, and stay consistent because you know someone else is counting on you to deliver. So ask yourself, who in your life has permission to call you out? Who can challenge you when you drift? Who celebrates your wins and refuses to let you settle for less than your best? Because when you lock arms with the right people, your discipline doubles, your courage triples, and your chances of victory skyrocket. Greatness is never a solo performance. It's a symphony of accountability, harmony, and commitment. Too many folks think self-discipline means living like a robot, never smiling, never resting, never enjoying life. That's not discipline. That's misery. Real discipline is about progress, not perfection. It's about reinforcing the habits that take you closer to your destiny. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you've just won a victory. Don't brush it aside. Celebrate it. When you say no to the donut and yes to the workout, that's a win. When you choose to save instead of waste, that's a win. When you open the book instead of scrolling the phone, that's a win. And here's the secret. Celebration is fuel. When you acknowledge your progress, you give your brain a shot of energy, and that energy makes the next decision easier. You're not just rewarding yourself. You're wiring your mind to crave discipline instead of dreading it. Think of it like climbing a mountain. If you never stop to look back and see how far you've come, the climb will feel endless. But if you pause, breathe, and celebrate each milestone, you'll gather the strength to keep climbing higher. So reward yourself for the right reasons. Don't celebrate with things that pull you backward. Celebrate with things that push you forward. Invest in growth. Rest with purpose. Treat yourself in ways that keep the fire burning instead of putting it out. Discipline is a journey, and when you celebrate progress, you transform that journey from a burden into an adventure. You stop living under the weight of not enough, and you start living in the joy of I'm getting stronger every day.